So hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in this video we are going to analyze the business law paper which I have appeared in Jan 2026. So as you can see that I was able to score 70.5 marks out of 100 marks. And as I already said you that in last attempt I was not able to clear because of subject that is law. And last time I was able to score nearly about 30 marks, but in this attempt you can see that I have made a significant changes in my marks, and in this video I'm going to state the reason behind it that I'm able to score such a good marks. So as you can see that I have bought my certified copies here. So what things I have made here changes is that firstly what you can see is firstly I have started the question number 2 rather than starting with question number 1. So first thing if I want to say, then start with the question in which you are feeling confident. So I was quite feeling confident about question number 2, so I have started with question number 2 here. As you can see that I have wrote the question number 2 and 2a, and I have directly wrote that is giving arrow, and I have directly started to wrote that is answer here. So as you can see that, and also I want to say that I have used separate paper for a separate answer. As you can see that I have wrote the question number 2a, but although half page is blank here, I didn't start the question from here. What I did means, after completing my answer I went to the next page. As you can see that I have started with question number 2b. So in this attempt I have followed the pattern of provision, fact, and then conclusion here. So as you can see that I have followed this pattern, and again as usual you can see that again the checker has given allotted me 1 marks, and again I went to the question number 2c. Again I have followed the same pattern, provision, fact, and conclusion. And also you need to see that I haven't used a single paragraph in anywhere. What I did means I have given like this arrow as you can see here in order to make my answer attractive. And after this I went to the question number 2b. Again I have followed the same pattern up to the question, up to the mark of 3 marks. Up to 3 marks what I followed is that provision and conclusion, and in order to greater than 3 marks what I followed pattern is that provision, fact, and conclusion. So it was obviously for the less than 4 marks, it may be of 3 marks. So what I did here means I have wrote here provision, and again I have started with the conclusion here. Although again you can see that this much is blank here, so I didn't start my answer from here. Again I have took the separate page and I have wrote the question number 2b, that is double dash, and the question was about difference between company limited by share and company limited by guarantee. So I have, obviously I can say that I have used here scale, but if you think that you are not have sufficient time, so what you can do, you can use your hand also in order to do such kind of scaling. And as you can see that I have wrote here the basics column. So what is the pattern here of difference between basics is important. There is some like marks allotted for the basics also. So as you can see that the checker has allotted me the marks, but in 4th number I have made some mistake and the checker has given here cross. And after this I went to the question number 2c. So which question I remember the section number, what I did means, as you can see I have highlighted the question number, that is section 13. Sorry, means I have highlighted the section number which I remember in order to grab the attention of copy checker. So again it was the question of related to that is partnership, and again you can see that I haven't used a single paragraph. Again what I did here means I have wrote my answer in arrow, that is separately, which makes my answer attractive. And again after writing this I went to that is question number c. Again you can see that I have wrote the section number and I have made here underline in order to grab the attention of copy checker. And again as you can see that I was able to score 2 marks. And then after that I went to the question number 4, that is 4a, and again I have followed the same pattern, provision. Again you can see the arrow here, and then fact, and then conclusion. And as you can see that I have wrote conclusion in very short, and the checker has allotted me 2 marks. Again I went to the 4a, that is double dash. Again you can see that I have wrote here section, and again I have highlighted it in order to grab the attention of copy checker. Again I have used this arrow, again fact, and then conclusion in very short, and again I have got 2 marks. And then I went to the question number 4a, that is 4a 3 number, and again I have wrote with the section number, but this time I didn't highlight this question, means I haven't highlighted this section number, although I have wrote my answer in arrow, fact, and conclusion. And again you can see that I was able to score 2 marks. Again I went to the question number 4b, and here you can see that I have underlined the section number. And again I have just wrote about the that is, it was the question of about parties, that is the features of negotiable instrument, you can see that. So I have wrote again in arrow, and as you can see that essential elements of that is negotiable instrument, and I was able to score 4 marks. And again I have left the blank page. Again I went to the 4C, and it was a question of Reserve Bank of India. Again what I did, I wrote every question by using this arrow rather than writing in paragraph. And it was another of IBB, that is Insolvency and Bankruptcy Board of India. Again I have wrote in that is arrow rather than writing in paragraph. Okay, and then after that I went to the question number 5. Again you can see the question in the middle of the page. Again provision, writing the provision in that is arrow, and then here is the fact, and here is the conclusion. And I was able to score 4 and 1, that is 5 marks. And then I went to the question number 5B, and it was the partnership. It was related for the partnership, asking about mutual rights and liabilities of the partner. So in this here you can see I have made some mistake, so the checker hasn't allotted any marks, but here the checker did. And after that I went to the question number 5B. Again I have wrote the points, and I have explained in 3 to 4 lines, and then move forward. Again I have wrote the 5C, and again you can see that the checker has allotted marks. It was up to here. And then after that I went to the question number 6A. Again I have wrote the provision here. Although I have wrote here section number, but I didn't highlight it. Again here fact, and then conclusion, and I was able to score 4 marks. And then I went to the that is 6B number, and then I have wrote my answer in point, you can see here, and explain it very shortly, that is maximum 4 to 5 lines, not more than that. And the checker has gave me 6 marks, and that may be the probability of that is a total of 7 marks maybe, and the checker has gave me 6 marks. And then after that I went to the question number 6C, and again I have wrote this in very short, as you can see that. And then after that I went to the 6C, that is double dash, and again I have wrote my answer in that is point. You can see that here is another point, and the checker has given me again 3 marks. And after that I went to the question number 1, and in my examination I did my question number 1, that is compulsory question, at the end. And as you can see that I have wrote the provision again using the arrow. Again I have wrote here fact, and then conclusion. And then after that I went to the question that is with B number. What I did means I went from 1A to 1C, and again I have wrote my answer. That is again here is the conclusion, you can see here. And then after that I again went to the question number 1A. You can see here provision is here, again fact is given here, and then conclusion is given here. And this was all about my paper, you can see that. And then after this, if I come to the conclusion at all, so here it is. So in question number 1 I was able to score, that is out of 7 4 marks, out of 7 5 marks, out of 6 5 marks. So in total out of 20 I was able to score 14 marks. In question number 2, out of 7 4, out of 7 4, and in 6 number 6 out of 6, and I was able to score 14 marks out of 20. In question number 3 I didn't attain this question, and I went to the question 4. Then if I say, then out of 7 marks I have scored 6 7 4 6 and 4. So out of 20 marks I was able to score 40 marks. In question number 5, 7 marks I scored 5 7, again 4, out of 6 5. So out of total 20 I was again able to score 14 marks. And in the last 6 number, out of 7 4, out of 6 6 upon 6 7 4.5. So again out of 20 marks I was able to score, that is 14.5 marks. So if I come to the conclusion, then although I have scored 70.5, but here the ICA has gave me grace marks nearly about 8 to 9 marks, and in my mark sheet I was able to score, that is 79 marks, and this is the marks that has been allotted in my law paper. So if I come to the conclusion, then first thing, write the question at the center. First thing is that presentation always matters. And another thing, for a separate question use a separate page. As you can see that although there is half page is remaining here, I didn't utilize this paper. What I did, I went to the another page in order to start my answer. So you all guys, what you can do means you can also just utilize a single paper, single question. First is that is question always write at the middle. Second is for a single question, single paper. And third, if I want to say, then don't write your answer in paragraphs. As you can see that not even one question I have wrote in paragraphs. Every question I have wrote using the like small paragraphs by denoting in arrow in order to make it attractive. If you write your answer in paragraph, then it will become like boring for the copy checker to read. But if you write in like paragraphs, then it becomes attractive to read here. And third is that, and the last, if I want to add, then that is section number. For sure, it is not possible to read all the sections, but you can try as much as you can. As you can see that I have tried to write as much section as I can, and that is also thing that matters. That makes the representation of you of during the examine and the copy checker. The examiner will evaluate you by seeing your paper, and if you write the section number as well, that makes you different from others, obviously from others, and because of that the checker will allot you a really good marks. As you can see that I have wrote the section number. And yes, it is not possible to read all the section, but yes, as you can for sure try to read and remember as much as you can. So this was all as I did and as I have improved from my last examination, and I hope it will be helpful for you upcoming examination and to improve your that is presentation. And I hope this video was really helpful for you. Thank you.